from the IT training department at the Egyptian Banking Institute. Today we do have Mr. Igor Pejic, who is like a great expert in banking technology and the author of the Blockchain Babel. Good morning, Mr. Igor.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Pleasure. First, we are so honored and privileged having you here in Egypt through ABI, sharing your practical experience through delivering this fantastic program, the Financial Technology, Digital Branches, and the Future of Banking. Starting our interview, it will be really beneficial to clearly distinguish between two common confusing word terms, the digital banking or digitalizing banking as a service, and establishing digital branches as a service. Would you please just put each term for the right frame for the audience?
Of course. First of all, thank you again for having me. It's a pleasure to be here with you, and it's definitely a great course. So you're asking about digitalization versus digital bank branches, which you're right, it's a term very often confused. So digital bank branches usually means transforming physical bank branches by having terminals, self-service terminals, by moving more into the consultation-heavy consulting of customers instead of doing routine tasks, repetitive tasks. Okay. We're always talking also about reducing of bank branches and transforming those that we have. On the other hand, digitalization is a broader term. It encompasses a whole set of developments, whole set of technological breakthroughs, but not just technological ones, but also how they're changing the ways banks compete. It can be in terms of hardware, in terms of connectivity developments, in terms of software developments, but also radical breakthroughs such as blockchain technology or such as artificial intelligence. So these are two terms that we shouldn't mix up, though they're connected.
That's perfect. Thanks so much. Having the different concepts of digitalization in mind, which steps could be given in a nutshell for sure to successfully digitalize a bank, and what are the indicators for a successful digitalization process?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's a very good question actually, because digitalization must happen on multiple levels, right? So one thing is just to swap one system for another, which is already difficult enough. But I think the major driver is really the mindset of the people working at the bank, starting, of course, at the top, from the top management, but going throughout the organization, actually. So you need to change the people, the way the people are working. You need to go into a kind of an agile way of working. And, of course, you need to change your legacy systems. This is another very big challenge for banks. So we're still often working on old core banking systems that are decades old, and then they are hit with new technologies, new protocols, and new hardware, new way of managing the IT resources of a bank. So, as I said, digitalization is something that needs to be taken care of at every level of the organization.
Okay, great. And getting back to your experience as a banking author, it's a great achievement to have your book, the Blockchain Babel, like the Financial Times winner, along with the Independent Press Award in 2020. How did that feel first? And did you expect such a great success for a technology book tackles a topic like it was yet to be considered as controversial?
Thank you for the question. Yes, so it was completely surprising to me. So I wrote the book because quite honestly, at that time, I didn't find anything that would look at this groundbreaking technology in a strategic and systematic way that could really help professionals from banking, but also from other industries to understand how it would change competition. So not just to explain the technology, but also to how it would change the ways we're competing. And I was really happy to see all of the success it had because it showed that also the topic was something that was extremely relevant to banks in particular, but also other corporations. And it was a topic that will be with us for another decade or two, I'm pretty sure.
Great. And there are lots of new trends and changes in the banking sector and in the technology field as a general. Like to be brief, or just to give us like a takeaway message, how would you answer this sensitive question? What is the future of banking?
What is the future of banking? That's not just a sensitive question, but it's also a very big question.
Yeah.
So I believe that banking will always be run by banks. Obviously, they're licensed entities. They're masters in core competencies such as risk assessment, operations, and so on. But it will be fundamentally changed in the way we're doing things, especially driven by these technological developments. And one of the big developments, big trends that I'm seeing that will impact banking is the entrance of big tech into the financial services world. This is what has been taking a bit of the backseat compared to fintechs, but I'm convinced that the big techs will be the next big thing. So big tech in financial services, some call it techfin. This will be something that banks will really have a hard time to deal with, because it's not so easy to cooperate with them like with fintechs, for example.
That's perfect, and that will take us to our last question for this. Considering all such new trends and changes that like popping out on daily basis, and out of curiosity, we just need to know what will be like the main topic you intend to address or to tackle in your next book.
Thank you. It's exactly the big tech idea, which is looking at how the big techs such as Amazon, Google, Apple, and so on are especially using the blockchain in order to break into financial services. We've seen it with Facebook's Libra initiative, later known as DM, where they wanted to issue basically their own global currency. That the ambition is there. The ambition is very big. And also the skills are there. So this is definitely what my new book will revolve around. As I said, for me, this is the most pressing issue in financial services, because the technologies as such are actually enabling, they're helping banks, but they're also enabling new competition. And this is what we need to look at in more detail.
Okay, that's perfect. Thanks so much for your time. We don't need to take more just to carry on this impactful program. I would like to thank you so much. Thanks so much for our audience. We enjoyed our conversation with Mr. Igor. Hopefully the audience enjoyed that too. And we're looking forward for much fruitful collaboration in the foreseeable future.
And a big thank you to EBI and to the participants of this course for enabling this sharing of knowledge and cutting edge technologies, and for the fruitful cooperation also from my side. I think it's a great course, and looking forward to further courses in the future. Thank you.